What do I teach? I teach my students two things. One is how to discriminate. Don't be shocked, don't be repulsed. There's a good meaning and the useful practice of discriminating. It's really being able to understand the difference between things, to distinguish what is fundamentally special about any subject that we approach. Perhaps you better understand how this mental ability is important to us. If you consider the antonym of the verb to discriminate, it's to confuse. So basically I teach my students how to avoid confusions. The other thing is how to classify, how to find similarities, family resemblances, especially when they're not that obvious. Because sometimes that's difficult. Think about, I don't know, a giraffe and a snail, right? Not very apparent. They can be grouped together as members of the same category of things on this planet, the animal kingdom, right? In the same way, I teach my students to look for unexpected, deep similarities between seemingly unrelated things, and also for equally surprising differences in apparently similar situations. So in sum, I train my students to find genuine sameness and difference. And isn't that what identity is all about? Identity, two things being the same or identical, but also one thing standing out as unique, unlike all the rest, and therefore identifiable. My classes, just an excuse to talk about cultural identities. Say, for instance, in my course on how we construct our national selves with something both immaterial and perhaps more enduring than metal, and that's words. Or in my other class, a class on domination, on the very intricate and vexing relation between master nations and servant nations. A class on cultural colonialism and how it distorts identities. How can identity not be important? It's how we perceive others and how they perceive us. Every day, everywhere. Forming a mental image of who we are, of who they are, what we stand for, or what they stand for. But this comes with the deadly perils of stereotypes, cliches, labeling. And that's how you encourage bad discrimination, injustice, hatred, violence. Because differences are not easy to grasp or deal with. Today's world needs experts who can guide us through the jungle of differences and steer us clear of such mortal dangers as intolerance or misunderstanding. How do you preserve cultural differences against the leveling powers of globalization? We're all wearing the same clothes, driving the same cars, abiding by the same standards in economy, education, justice, and legislation. But also, how do you make people see the similarities between cultures when they're blinded by how unintelligible our various languages, ideals, or lifestyles are? See, these are real problems. These are big problems today. And you run against these problems everywhere. In schools, in corporate business, in diplomacy, in advertising and political campaigning, in all fields of cultural practice. And you you may want to be one of the people who can help deal with these problems. If so, the classes that we teach here are important. I'm not sure I like the metaphor. It's not like going to the fast food store and ordering takeaway food, right? What do students take away? Maybe a diploma, a certificate at the end, but we don't hand out knowledge or abilities. We nurture them, perhaps. We stimulate an ongoing process of understanding. That's what we do. But okay, let's play this game. What will students take away from my courses? Two things again. And again, at first sight, they're mutually exclusive. One is satisfaction. I've seen it in many generations of our alumni and alumni. And you can read it in their testimonials. Satisfaction, intellectual satisfaction, of confronting interesting subjects, stimulating texts in a successful way, gaining confidence, gaining breadth of vision. Emotional satisfaction of finding not so much a teacher, but a companion for this part of their life journey, and finding a friendly and supportive company. Because I make sure my classes are like that when we debate things. And also professional satisfaction. Knowing that they're equipped with complex skills and tools for a variety of trades. Knowing they're ready to take on a new job or a research program. Satisfaction. The other thing is insatiability. Never being satisfied. Never being complacent. The sense of not ever feeling you know enough. You've reached the limit of your understanding, or you came up with a perfect solution to any problem. Being driven by this unquenchable thirst for more, for going farther, for going deeper. So it's this tension between such opposites as satisfaction and insatiability that keeps us alive, that it keeps us in good mental shape for whatever life puts in front of us. That's what I think my students take away from my classes.